Welcome to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
Thank you so much for joining us. You are going to have a treat today. My guest, Yvonne Brown, is here on Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, and we are going to have a blast. We're going to bring you some amazing information. She's going to share all about her. Take it away, Yvonne.
Hello, listening audience and viewing audience. My name is Yvonne Brown. I bring you greetings from the city of brotherly love, also known as Philadelphia, in the state of PA. And I'm here hanging out with my girl Tammi, and we're just having a good time. And I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. I am a financial coach, and I empower women to be the best version of themselves in the areas of self-love, money matters, and purpose, because I believe when you know who you are and whose you are, which are daughters of the Most High, you can show up more boldly and intentional and make financial decisions as it relates to your money matters. And I'm excited to be here today to talk to everyone about how I was able to pay off to date over $60,000 in debt just by changing my mindset. So thank you.
That is so powerful, and that is where we're going to start.
Yes.
So share with the people, how did you get started with that? I mean, what made you decide that, it was time to get your financial life right?
Well, unfortunately, it was a wake-up call that I got in 2013. I was working for a business consultancy at the time, and I went into work as usual, putting in the work. And by the end of the day, I was walking into a conference room with my boss in HR, and they told me that was my last day. And it was unexpected. Didn't see any writing on the wall. Up until that point, we had been profitable, and they decided to make cuts in our business unit. And so I wasn't prepared financially. My mindset all along had been, Yvonne, you have a job, and as long as you're paying your lenders responsibly and everybody's happy that you're making those payments on time, you're good. That was my mindset. I was building credit. I was rocking and rolling, and I thought that I was setting myself up for success, but I wasn't. I was operating in a poverty mindset at that time. And so that wake up call that day, and having to go 14 months after that day without employment, shook me to the core, and it left me in a very bad headspace. Where I was stressed, as you can imagine, because I couldn't find employment. I had 2 degrees, Tammi.
Oh, wow.
2 business degrees. At that point, 10 plus years of experience, several recommendations, and I could not find employment. And so,
oh my goodness.
I was just broken. I was broken. And so
were you overqualified?
For some of them, I was overqualified, but for a lot of them, I was qualified, but they just, how they do. We decided to go with another candidate that we feel meets our needs, and blah, 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 and on and on and on.
I was going to say, I said that because that's what they always say. When you have experience and when you have the degrees and everything that you're qualified, then they don't want to pay you. They say you're overqualified.
Yes.
So I'm sure that you dealt with a lot of that.
It was a lot of that. And it was very, the struggle was real. Right. And my finances at that point in my life, it dried up, as you can imagine, because I was not prepared to be without a job. Right. Yeah. So the debtors were calling, and I didn't have any money to pay. And so I found my source in God during that time of my life, because he was the one true constant that could get me through that season. Yes. And I told him, I said, God, I don't know what this is, but I need you to make a way out of no way. And when you do that, I'll change how I handle my money. And that's the vow I kept. And when I got employment at the end of 2014, It was the fall of 2014 when I finally got a job. So
Oh
I
my
got laid
goodness.
off the summer of 2013. I didn't find employment until the latter part of 2014.
Jesus.
I had to keep my vow, and I had to start to do things right. I had to be like, okay, this is who I owe. Let me set up payment plans with them. Let me start this budgeting thing. Let me continue to return tithe. Let me do all of those things that are required of me. And but the one thing I learned was to depend on God during that whole season of my life, because I never went hungry. I still had a roof over my head. I didn't lack in terms of, like, I wasn't homeless or anything like that, but it really damaged my self-worth, because I'm like, how is it that I have all of these accomplishments and no one wants to hire me? How is it that I have 2 degrees and I'm not financially fit the way I should be? Because I wasn't operating the way that God told me to operate. I shouldn't have had 14 plus credit cards. For what? For
So you
what?
can
Just
use
because the
them.
lady at the counter said I could save 20%.
Yeah.
Okay, sign
Mhm.
me up.
Yep. Yep.
I'll
That's
pay
exactly.
y'all minimum payment,
Mm-hmm.
and then go to the next store and do the same. Like, just operating in foolishness for no reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the start of me changing some things. I had to, because I realized that is not what God had called me to be. And the word was very clear.
Right.
And trust me, during that time, I got back in my word. Like, when you're going through something, you'll fall on your knees and you'll pick up that Bible real quick and you'll
Mm-hmm.
pray. Your prayers will change. Your posture will change for all the things that you're going through, because you're looking for God to give you some type of relief from that
Oh yeah,
situation.
absolutely.
So that's really what got me into the space that I'm in now, in terms of helping women, so that if something like that comes down their lane, that they're prepared and they don't end up like me.
What kind of mindset shifts were involved in that? Like,
Well,
what some things that you did?
yes, I'm big on affirmations.
Okay.
Very big on affirmations. And I just went back to the scriptures that we have, right? Where, one of the scriptures was, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not lack, right? That was Psalms 23, was what I lived and breathed during that time.
Oh,
I
that's
don't know.
awesome.
It's something that as a child, my parents taught us. And so I had committed that to memory, and it just came back to me. So I just kept renewing my mind in that, like, God, you're my shepherd, and you said I lack nothing, even through the tears. Right. So
Yes.
that's one of the things that I did. I just went back to the basics, to the Bible, and just pulled up scriptures. I love praise and worship. So, I found songs that spoke to my life, songs that I could relate to, that I immersed my spirit in that, to give me some type of push to keep my mind focused on God, because there were some dark moments for me, and I did not want the enemy. And he can, if you let him. I did not want the enemy to take hold of my mind, right? To the point where I would hurt myself. And there were some dark moments where, I'm not going to go there, but there were some moments where I was like, yeah, see, I'm driving. And if I just keep driving, there was some moments, right? And I just had to immerse myself in the word and looking at those types of scriptures that spoke life to me, and also immerse myself into praise and worship, and surrounding myself with people who spoke into me, who prayed over me, during the times where I could not pray over myself. And that's what really helped me to really shift my mindset, to know that I'm not alone in this. As hard as it was, Tammi, because there were times where I'm like, God, I don't know where you're at, but I need a job. Like, I need something to come through. I need you to say something to me. And so those were some of the things that I did to help with my mindset.
What was a particular song that spoke to you that, like I love this song by Hillsong called Oceans. And it just, every time I hear it,
yes,
what's the song like that for you?
So I love Vashawn Mitchell. At that time, he has a song called Turning Around for Me.
Yeah.
Around for me. I love that song. That spoke volumes. And then I also love Israel Houghton's collection of songs.
Oh
He
yeah.
has a song, he has some worship music. One of them is To Worship You I Live, like
Mhm.
just music that'll let you just pour out, right?
Yeah.
And there's a part in the song where he's like, oh, where
Yeah.
you're just, that's all you can do is utter a groan. And
Yes.
the word says that even when you utter it, he knows what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
That's powerful
That is
in and
powerful.
of itself. So songs like that, you know, and then the hymns, right? I grew up on hymns. So those of you who don't know what hymns are, you know, pass me not, or gentle Savior, you know, the hymns, you know, the hymns that really like,
The
it
blood
is
of
well with my,
Jesus.
it
Yes.
is well with my soul, right?
Mhm.
Um,
The blood
when
of
I had,
Jesus. Yes.
yes, when I had those moments, you know, where where I could go, where I could go into my sacred place and that's all I could do, you know, those songs would come into my spirit, and I would speak those things, and I would sing those
Mm,
things. So those are some of the songs that
that is so powerful.
yeah, I mean, that's all I had at that time. I didn't know what else to do. Like it's a shameful place to be. And if it's never come down anybody's lane, I pray it doesn't. But it's a shameful place to be when you have family and friends that know that you are in a dire strait, and they want to give you, and it's not to say that I didn't accept sometimes, but after a while it was just like, it just doesn't feel right, you know.
Mhm.
And even though I'm searching, and I'm putting feelers out there, and I'm having informational interviews, and I'm having regular interviews, and I'm doing the work, so that I could get some type of employment,
Right.
God had to say to me, you're where I want you to be right now.
Mhm.
And I didn't realize that up front, though.
Of course
It
not.
wasn't until it wasn't until it wasn't until like closer to like the end of it, where I'm just like, I just walked into this welfare office, and these people told me they couldn't give me any kind of cash assistance or disability because I had to be pregnant or disabled.
Oh,
Lord, are you kidding me right now? Like, okay, God, because I'm gonna lose my mind. So let me go in the car like I do and just play something like that music, like to just keep my mind straight.
yes.
Because Tammi, I'm telling you, I didn't know what this was, but in those moments, daughter, I need you to trust me. That's another song, I Trust You, Lord, by Donnie McClurkin.
I was
I
gonna
trust
say,
you, Lord. I trust you, Lord. How
I
could I
like.
forget Donnie? Yes,
I was gonna
Donnie. I love
say,
all his collection of music.
I like the one
Yes,
by Fred Hammond.
yes,
I will trust.
yes, yes, yes.
That's
Fred is
another
one of my
one.
faves.
Oh my God. It's like,
Yeah,
oh my God, yeah, yeah, yeah. I got you.
it's so
I feel you.
many.
So
So
many.
it's
So
so many.
what when you think
So,
when you think about your journey,
mhm.
would you change any of it?
Oh gosh. I know what the answer is, right? But if I can be
No,
honest,
what's your answer?
what's my answer, right? The answer that I would say is I would have changed, um, me not subscribing to societal norms. That's the one part I would have changed. And what I mean by that is I would have, I should have been the person to say no a lot more than yes. Um, I should have been the person to not try to live up to the hype, and thinking that, because I have all of these credit cards, that I can just buy and buy and buy because I want the latest and the greatest. Because the discount is better than just paying the cash. Yes, I wish I could have changed all of that and been more responsible with my money, and saw my job as a provision and not just something to just pay debt all the time. Because even though I had some savings, I didn't have enough up until that point that would have sustained me. Um, and so I wish my headspace, my mindset was in a better frame, to have built up my financial house on a solid foundation. So that part of it I would have changed. Yes. The part that I probably wouldn't have changed is where I am now and what I'm doing for women.
I was going to say, we're going there now.
Yeah,
share that.
This is, and listening audience and viewing audience, it's when when people say this is my testimony, right, and I have to share it, it's what it is. And I look back now and I realize why I had to go through it, even though it didn't feel good, Tammi.
Right.
I realized why I had to go through it with God's help and with the prayers of saints. It was necessary. It was necessary to get me to this place to talk to you today about it, right? It was necessary for the buildup for Affirm and Pursue, which is the company that I have as a financial coach. It was necessary because my story, I know, resonates with somebody out there. And
right.
And it may not be that you walked into your job that day and you got your pink slip. It may be that you have a boatload of debt and you don't know where to start. You are just like, oh my gosh, how do I even push through? Am I even able to rewrite this thing? And I'm here to tell you, you can, because I did, with a lot of work. It hasn't been easy. It's been a longer process than I anticipated, but that part of it, I wouldn't change for the world, because I'm able to share and show women that it's possible for them to change their financial narrative. As long as they are clear on their financial goals, and that starts with getting in the right mindset and realizing that they're going to have to sacrifice the wants. They're going to have to make some sacrifices to get to the other side. So,
and people don't want to hear that.
I know.
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, you got to make some sacrifices. But you and I know that is definitely the case. So what kind of women come to you? Is there like an age group, or not even a racial makeup? I mean, a cultural, is it?
No, I service all women from the ages of 25 to 55. And I have a Facebook group community. That's where I started. And I just went in there and I just started sharing what I was doing. And as I started out with my friends, my closest friends, and my family. And then we built from there. And I said, hey, if you know anybody that wants to know how to do a budget, invite them on in. And then I became a part of a bigger circle where I was able to share what I was doing, and I got women from there. So I started in my Facebook group, actually, and I still have it today because Facebook is free for now. And the power of social media is amazing that you can leverage it. So I don't have to travel here and there, and then COVID hit even more so. That's a blessing. Mm-hmm. So my Facebook, social media is what I've been doing to reach out to women. Everything I do is digital based, so I don't have to, none of my courses or digital. Everything is digital, so you can access everything that I have digitally.
That's phenomenal, because
yes,
because that's where society is going anyway.
Yes,
yeah, that's awesome.
So if you have a need and you're trying to shift from financial woes to financial wholeness, and you need someone who understands the pain points, then I'm here to help you with that. If you don't know where to start, I'm here to help you with that, because I didn't know where to start, but I knew that one thing had to change, and that's I had to get clear on what I wasn't going to do anymore and where I wanted to go.
That's awesome.
And understanding the resource that God has given us, which is money, right, is not meant to be just used frivolously for all types of foolishness. No, he gives it to us for a reason, whether it is to sow seed into a ministry, whether it is to invest, whether it is to save, however it is, he gives it to us to multiply. That we need to be very clear on that, because there's a story in the Bible about that, about the man who gave his servants, was it 3 of them? He said, here, I'm going to give you the money and I'm going to come back and see what y'all do with it. And one of them did nothing.
Right. Held on to it, buried it.
So he gives us this resource, money, for a reason. And so And everyone knows in my group, I'm a Christian. I talk about God all the time. I don't make no apologies. So if you about that, biblical principles and what money is meant to do, then I'm the coach for you. But I realize that there is a greater network of financial educators out there, and kudos to everyone who is giving people access to the right information so that they can make the important decisions for their financial futures.
That's powerful. So what do you do? Do you work with people in groups more so, or do you do one-to-one? What is primarily your way that you work with people?
Yes. So right now I do one-on-one coaching, and then I also do classes as well. So I'll do put a class together, and then I will market the class to my Facebook group community first. And then I also will market it to my social media personal account and my Instagram account as well. But primarily one-on-one coaching is what I have right now. I will be moving to probably more group coaching because I know the one-to-many model is powerful, because one-on-one sometimes can be taxing.
Draining.
And draining. But as I level up in that area, I definitely will shift gears. But right now I can manage the one-on-one. Mm-hmm.
That sounds wonderful. So
Yes.
you still work a job now though?
Yes, ma'am. I still work. You know why I still work? Because I wouldn't have been able to pay off as much debt without my W-2.
No,
like that's one of my strategies I teach. Keep your income high, your expenses low.
Yes.
So when I make shifts from a job to another job, trust me, it is a strategic move. It is a strategic move.
Right.
And that income, as I pay off debt, guys, it just releases more money for me to conquer the next debt. And then with that income coming in, because I'm not using that to spend frivolously, right, Tammy? So I just make sure I'm using my budget and I'm assigning what I need to assign, and
Yes.
I just allocate the money to the debt. So I still work a regular job. I am a IT project manager by day, and then I have my Affirm and Pursue business that I do on the side. So it's
That
not
is so
easy.
powerful.
It's not easy, but it's necessary.
Yes.
It's necessary for where I need to be. I haven't gotten the call or the directive, I should say, from God to quit my 9 to 5 yet, and only He will tell me that.
That's what I was going to say. A lot of people jump up and do that as soon as they hear, start a business, or as soon as they feel I'm going to start a business, and then they quit their job, and then they're wondering why they're struggling and can't pay their bills, and so they're looking desperate online. People can see all that stuff. They're looking like, can you please give me some money? And no.
No, I'm not doing. I haven't gotten that directive from God Himself. So until such time, I will keep my W-2.
Yes, that's what you do.
Use it to fund my business and pay off debt. That's what I'm doing right now. And it's something that I enjoy doing. By nature, I am a planner. I like to execute. I like to work with teams. I like to collaborate. So it fits with the type of personality that I have.
Right.
And a lot of those skill sets, guys, guess what? A lot of those skill sets, I just transitioned into being a coach because it's still applicable.
Yes. I was going to say,
you got to know how to talk to people. You got to know how to facilitate a meeting. You got to plan. You got to be organized. You got to be detail oriented. You got to work with various types of technology. It transitions over. So
that's what I was actually going to say. That I was like, it seems that the things that we do in our 9 to 5 transition over into what it is that we're being called to do, which is amazing, So share with the people how they can connect with you, and any last thoughts. If this is a question I always ask, and I try not to forget it because it's so important.
Yes.
But if you encountered a person that was in the place that you were, what would you say to them?
The first thing I would say is know that you are worth saving. And know that this right here doesn't define you. Mistakes make masters. That's one hashtag that I love to say often, that your mistake will make you a master, because guess what? As you take the lessons learned from your mistakes, you review it, and then you get better. You become a master at the thing that will make it right. So that's what I would tell the person. Your mistakes will not define you, because God loves you and he knows your future. Because the people that prayed for me, Tammi, they poured into me like that, even though at the time it was like, okay, thank you, but I got to pay this. If I can keep it real.
I appreciate that.
If I can keep it real, thank you, but you know what?
I need money.
Even in the moments though, even in the moments where they weren't FaceTime in front of me praying, I could still feel their prayers, because how do I explain it? I don't know. It was just at moments, it was like a peace.
Yes.
That kind of came in.
Yes.
And guys, I didn't lose my mind. Like, there's so many people that have lost their mind.
Yes.
From financial troubles. It's
yes.
real out in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
It's so real. So that's what I would tell the person. You can change your financial trajectory. It is not too late. You just have to make up in your mind that you want to do it.
Yes.
And all the money, even having all the money in the world, and the strategy that I talked about, you know, how I bring in income and I keep it high and I keep my expenses low. Guess what? All the money in the world won't matter if your mindset, and if you don't make up in your mind that you're going to change.
Yes. Oh, that is
change your behavior. That is so key, you know. So that's what I would tell. That's what I would tell the person, that their mistakes won't define them. It's not, because the Bible cannot return void, and the Bible says that you shall live and not die. You are more than a conqueror. You are the head and not the tail.
Yes.
Affirmations.
Yes. That is so powerful.
Affirmations. And so, so that's what I would tell them. But yeah, you know, to connect with me.
Yes.
I am on Facebook and Instagram at Yvonne Brown Exhales. You can see it right above me as well, at Yvonne Brown Exhales. You can reach out to me there. And I also have an academy. If you're interested in any courses or digital downloads that I have that can help you in your financial matters, from paying off debt to mindset to budgeting. You know, if you want another stream of income, I have a course for that. You can go to www.affirmandpursueacademy.com.
Nice. Very nice. All right. So we're going to get ready to get up out of here. I am just blown away by all the information. And you guys know I love the stories. I believe that, you know, there are just a few stories. There's one that you tell yourself and one that you actually are. And I'm just so grateful for Yvonne coming on here and sharing about the financial literacy, especially for women, because a lot of times in the financial literacy area, women are left out.
Yes.
You know, why this is the case, I don't know, but but it is. So I'm grateful that she has stepped up to the plate to help women to mind their money.
That's right. And ladies, we have a greater proportion of debt statistically. So we really need to mind our money matters.
Yes.
And if I can offer an invitation, Tammi, is that okay?
Yes.
To your audience. Listen, like I said earlier, I cannot do this financial education by myself. And so I have put the call out there to other financial educators to join me on May 2nd. 2021 of this year. We are going to be doing a Reignite Your Finances virtual summit. I serve women, but guess what? It's not just for the women. It's not just for the queens. The kings can come as well. We are taking registrations now. And yes, there is a small investment because you need to have skin in the game, right? You need to be serious about your financial future. And so you can go to bit.ly/reignite your finances and register today. So that's May 2nd, 2021, bit.ly/reignite reignite your finances. And I hope to see you guys in the virtual space on May 2nd.
That sounds awesome. Make sure, did you include that in your links?
I did not, but I will. I can send that to you. Yeah.
Okay, send that to me, and that way I can put that in the description of the video and also the audio.
Yes, I will. Yes.
Yeah.
We want to get you guys, access to the right information. You want to know how to be a homeowner. You want to know how interest can be paid to you and not to Sir Chase and Wells Fargo. You want to know about insurances. We are going to have a full spectrum. Give yourself an instant pay raise, tax minimization.
Yes.
We're going to have a great deal of workshops. So please join us on May 2nd, 2021.
That's going to be so powerful.
Yes.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us on Straight Out of Savannah, talking with.
Thank you, Tammi.
You are so welcome. I have enjoyed my guest, Yvonne Brown, and I'm glad that you have too. So again, join us on Straight Out of Savannah, talking with Tammi. And if you are changing the planet and you want to come talk about it, look me up. Send me a private message. Thank you so much for joining. Bye now.
I know you've been blown away with the amazing value here today. Now go out and inspire the planet. And be sure to send us a message when you're ready to come talk about it on Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi.